So I'm Louise Manning. I'm the president of Springfield Lakes Nature Care. We're a land care group here in the Opossum Creek catchment, and this is one of our projects that we've been working on for the last 3 years. This was to rehabilitate Opossum Creek and revegetate some of the slope and the riparian zone here, which had become infested with camphor laurel, Chinese elm and a bit of lantana. And the aim was that when we got our grants through, we could engage some contractors to come in and remove some of the bigger, larger Chinese elm and camphor laurels, so that then we could rehabilitate the area and revegetate it with native plants and trees, as well as understory plantings to actually stabilise the bank, because when the camphor laurel and the celtis got big, they shaded out all the native ferns such as our bracken ferns, our maidenhairs, and a lot of our small native grasses and shrubs, and what we were left with was a thick coating of leaves, which the native plants didn't like so much. And we needed to put in the native plants that would grow here so that our wildlife, our birds and our flora could actually, our fauna could actually use this as a habitat to, feed on from insects and at different flowering times, because the celtis and the elm had just shaded everything out, and so they flowered and then little else was left for the birds and the fauna. And so we started off doing the slopes and getting rid of the lantana that was all up here, and then we went down to the creek, the riparian zone here, and started weeding out the celtis and the smaller camphor, put in a lot of native plants and lamandra grass to stabilise the bank so that when the creek did flood, we weren't going to lose lots of topsoil. The next thing we did was we had community planting days. So today we've just had a really big community planting day. We received funding through the federal government, through the planting trees for the Queen's Jubilee project, and that will cover the cost of our plants, our watering of the plants, as well as some contractors to do the hard work of treating all those invasive pest trees. So far we had to have a little bit of a hiatus because Urban Utilities had to put in a new pipeline right where we're standing, and so the site was shut down for about 18 months because of the wet weather. The site kept getting delayed, they couldn't get their trucks in, hence our bush care site that we'd planted lots of native plants in got a bit overgrown, so we'll have a lot of work to get in there and weed out those tobacco and fig trees that have come back. And we'd like people to come down and volunteer for our bush care events. We have them once a month on a Sunday. We'll try alternating them and see if Saturday works better for some people and Sunday might work better for others. And the idea is once we can get that weed free again, we'll be able to start the next stage with the next lot of planting going further down the slope. Eventually we'll reach where Lloyd Bird first started rehabilitating this area back in the 1990s, and that's our aim, to do this whole peninsula here and have it restored the way it should have been before the invasive weed took over.